Perhaps the best instance of persistence may be seen in Abraham Lincoln. He was a person who refused to quit despite numerous challenges. He lost elections several times before finally becoming the president. He had reasons to quit in many instances, but he chose not to stop trying. Eventually, Abraham Lincoln became one of the most successful presidents in the records of the United States. Researchers affirm that he was among the most prominent and important leaders ever voted for in the White House. Nevertheless, his ascending from murkiness to the presidency was not an easy task. Clinching nomination by the Republican Party in 1860, after which he won against Democrat Stephen Douglas, entailed different crafty political strategies by his team. Born in an underprivileged family, Abraham Lincoln experienced several faults, failures, defeats, and achievements throughout his life. In his youthful years, Abraham Lincoln's body size and strength augmented his authority over his age mates. Additionally, he was more athletic compared with most of his peers in the neighborhood. Many of his friends asserted that Lincoln could carry what would make even 3 men find cumbersome. He was not only blessed with extraordinary strength but also robust fitness, as his family members attest to the fact that he never fell ill. Attributable to his great strength, Lincoln's father used to overwork him in the fields. He attended subscription school, which his family could afford to pay. Nevertheless, at the age of about 10 years, Lincoln's education was discontinued, and he had to struggle to educate himself. He always wanted to make achievements happen rather than waiting for them to occur. His father would occasionally destroy his books or beat him for neglecting his duties. Nevertheless, he was his classmates' guide and head. While he was a young man, he spoke many times about suicide, and as he became older, he perceived situations around the world as being tough and depressing, filled with gloom, and made in such a manner by fate and the powers of God. Regardless of his evident victory against his political opponent, Stephen Douglas, in the renowned debates of 1858, Abraham Lincoln lost the Senate race to him. In 1860, he was elected the President of the United States. In addition, 1864 marked the year of the re-election of a person who was not quite a perennial failure as his critics made him appear. Abraham Lincoln acted as a legendary, successful figure in the history of the United States. Whenever his achievements are considered, it cannot go without notice that he was indeed a charming character. He suitably upheld what people believe is the United States ethos. He was a person who hailed from poverty, was not highly educated, was brought up in a single-room log cabin, was truthful and diligent, and conquered numerous hindrances and failures to win the United States presidency when the country was faced with its gravest calamities. Judging by the fact that he was the American president, one may tend to think that he had fortunes all along with his entire life. Nonetheless, this was not the case, and the truth is not adequately inspirational. It is forged from problems, failures, and faults, which depict Abraham Lincoln as a person who endured constant defeat and difficulties from birth to his presidency. He survived a life of difficulties and obstacles, though he was outstandingly successful in numerous endeavors in his existence. Different achievements of Abraham Lincoln continue to draw admiration today. For example, saving the Union and setting the slaves free were actions that support his purity of principles, in addition to integrity. Lincoln believed that the United States was similar to a train that was carrying 34 cars, which represented the number of states then. Pulling the train apart or making some of the cars leave would risk the loss of cargo. According to Abraham Lincoln, the cargo carried in the train represented the values of the Declaration of Independence, standards of democracy, freedom, and equality. Therefore, by saving the Union, he had the feeling that he was preserving the standards of the assertion of independence not only for his generation but also for others to come. He understood that true democracy had not been realized because not every person was allowed to take part in elections. The slaves, who were about 4 million, did not have the liberty to vote. Moreover, women did not have equal opportunities. Nonetheless, his feeling was that the Union would result in gradual improvements. Perhaps the best illustration of perseverance might be seen in Abraham Lincoln. He was an individual who could not quit regardless of existing setbacks. Born in a needy family, Abraham Lincoln experienced numerous mistakes, failures, accomplishments, and defeats. Attaining nomination by the Republican Party entailed diverse, cunning political strategies by his group. He is a legendary, triumphant figure in the account of the United States. Saving the Union and ensuring the freedom of slaves back his spotlessness of principles, in addition to veracity. Study Corgi can help you make your studies smarter. Visit studycorgi.com for more samples like this, study tips, and writing tools.